Nine forgotten killer robots and Mecha B-films. Cheesy but super fun. Since the early years of cinema, even before coining the term robot, movies have always wanted to showcase them in one way or another. They symbolize viewers' neuroses, queasiness regarding technology, and serve as the unknown. They make humans wonder what the future holds, and what the world would be like without humans, and whether they're replaceable or not. This video answers some of these questions by showing a few epic killer robots and Mecha B-films that aren't within the radar of mainstream media and viewers, but are tons of fun.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Should come in fancy dress.
Death Machine, 1994. A controversial megacorporation named Chonk Armament is the world's foremost manufacturer of high-tech weapons and military hardware. They're experimenting with what they call the ultimate fighting machine. This experiment is codenamed Project Hardman. Unfortunately, Hardman undergoes a malfunction and destroys a roadside diner, claiming several innocent lives. The project creator is a genius named Jack Dante, who is deemed slightly unstable due to his nefarious activities. The company's new chief executive, Hayden Cale, confronts Jack after the incident, but gets blackmailed by him instead. When she takes matters into her own hands, several company employers begin dying mysteriously, and Cale fires him. This drives him over the edge and causes him to unleash his ultimate secret weapon called War Beast, a massive T-Rex-looking robot against everyone who stands in his way. Steve Norrington's Death Machine is a unique work of mechanical art that was handcrafted for the 90s. The film might appear dated because of its computers and other technical gadgets that look silly today, but that constitutes most of its charm. The scene of the War Beast unleashing devastation is one of the best ones that viewers have seen in killer robot B-flicks. You don't come across a man being chased by a T-Rex robot every day. Furthermore, Crispin Morel incorporates a pulsating music score in the film that keeps the audience at the edge of their seats. Its robotic vibe blends wonderfully with the visual showcased, while Norrington's unique writing style and direction are out of this world. Iconic Chucky voice actor Brad Dourif is the ideal person to play the role of Jack Dante, the psychotic employee. Unfortunately, this film stirred up significant controversy due to its excessive violence and Dourif's character. Thus, it was banned in several countries, including Sri Lanka, Iran, China, Iraq, and Australia. Nevertheless, it's an intriguing piece of work within the cyberpunk horror genre that everyone must embrace. Robot Jocks, 1989. Half a century after a nuclear holocaust, the world's only survivors are the Western-influenced market and the Russian-influenced Confederation. Due to the destruction caused by 3 world wars, both these entities have decided to outlaw conventional war. Instead, they have a new method of settling disputes by pitting 2 giant robots against each other in gladiator-style matches. These robots are operated by pilots who are called Robot Jocks. Alexander, the champion of the Confederation, has been victorious in the last 9 matches, thanks to a spy in the market who leaks information to the Confederation. Achilles is the market's champion. He too has been victorious in 9 matches and will face Alexander in his last fight for gaining control of Alaska. Due to Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim becoming a successful box office hit, viewers often forget that this isn't the first movie of its kind to hit the big screen. Stuart Gordon dominated the screen with his Robot Jox several years before that, which became a cult favorite worldwide. The entire movie constitutes a tongue-in-cheek atmosphere right from the start. It's a light-hearted rendition of the Cold War's impact on popular culture. It contains an exciting portrayal of the future working class gathering in large numbers around a massive TV that screens the robot fights for the public to see. Here, they can discuss the fight's odds and outcomes, much like modern-day gambling on racecourses. The film possesses a retro charm that sways the audience and draws them towards its political undertone, leaving them wanting more. Not to mention, it showcases a bunch of robotic killing machines accompanied by dated special effects that make viewers truly feel the 80s nostalgia. These and its stuttering stop-motion animation caused Empire Pictures to go bankrupt by the end, making Robot Jox their most expensive movie. Space Truckers, 1996. John Canyon, one of the last independent space entrepreneurs, has been forced to carry a suspicious cargo containing alleged sex dolls to Earth due to depleting times at a corporation's base on the Neptunian moon, Triton. During transportation, it's discovered that the cargo contains a large shipment of cyborg warriors. One of these warriors comes alive during transport and wreaks havoc on John's ship and the entire crew. This shaky production directed by Stuart Gordon is a parody of B-movies, sci-fi, and space operas. Its excellent, repetitive special effects are so cheesy. They're sure to bring a smile to viewers' faces. Who doesn't like watching a dark, twinkling pirate ship in space emerging from a meteor shower? Moreover, the film has used its knowledge of genre history and cast the amazing Dennis Hopper in the lead, accompanied by Shane Rimmer as the primary villain. Unfortunately, nowadays, movies like Space Truckers are made with deliberately bad special effects. But Gordon's 90s masterpiece is the real deal that has been created with passion, heart, soul, and a shoestring budget to put the cherry on top. Viewers will immediately identify that Gordon didn't make this movie to win any Academy Awards, but for pure, schlocky entertainment. Solo, 1996. Solo is an android-killing weapon that the military has designed. They use this weapon to wage war with Latin America so that they can destroy the rebels. These rebels are natives who are fighting to keep their freedom. However, Solo decides to help the Latin American rebels and develops sympathy towards them. Instead of waging war against them, he helps them fight back against the military and defeat a local warlord. Norberto Barba's Solo oversees all ethical conundrums and thought-provoking ideas that might exist within artificial intelligence and dives straight into the action. This film, adapted from Robert Mason's 1989 novel, Weapon, borrows its vibe mainly from The Predator and Terminator films. Moreover, it also constitutes great flashbacks to give viewers background details about the makings of the creature. Even if most people fail to see it, Solo's primary genre is adventure before any other. It holds up its word on this front with discharging firearms, allowing Solo's character to teach his commanding forces a lesson for exploiting the less privileged. Maybe the audience can't see it, but there is a strong political undertone buried somewhere within this sci-fi action film. The only things that make it a must-watch are Mario Van Peebles' performance, some breathtaking camera shots, and a pinch of humor. Class of 1999, 1990. American high schools begin witnessing an abundance of organized crime in the late 1990s. Several high schools start shutting down due to youth gangs taking over certain areas. Fire-free zones don't even allow cops to enter out of fear. Kennedy High School is situated in such a place. Dr. Miles Langford, Kennedy's new principal, is very determined to bring back the order and discipline within the high school. To do this, he participates in a government initiative where he allows 3 military cyborgs to enter the school premises as undercover teachers. This gives Cody Culp, a former gang member who just got out of prison, the perfect opportunity to have a fresh start. Unfortunately, the new cybernetic instructors come with a new set of rules, which includes zero tolerance. Soon, the school system witnesses the equation of flipping 180 degrees as the students begin fearing the teachers, unlike the 1980s where it was the other way around. Director Mark L. Lester claimed while making this movie that it portrays the future of public education. It's a trashy teen equivalent of futuristic sci-fi films such as Blade Runner, RoboCop, and The Road Warrior. The movie serves as a good example of a handful of laughs and thrills about the American school system. Unfortunately, critics believe that the concept seemed adequately far-fetched. And even though some films must be watched for pure entertainment and not for its realistic concepts, several viewers claim that they couldn't connect with it. Nevertheless, it's filled with a few hilariously unsettling moments and intriguing special effects where viewers get an insight into the film's mechanical aspect. Most importantly, this was a film made during the pre-CGI VFX era, which held a great deal of nostalgia for the 90s and 80s audiences. Moreover, Class of 1999 is one of the few movies that go against its premise to make sure viewers are well entertained no matter what. It has an exceptional set design considering its budget, and its sense of urban decay in a ruined world feels highly realistic, more so today than ever. Universal Soldier: The Return, 1999. Luke Devereaux is the last surviving member of the original team of Universal Soldiers. He has recently been collaborating on a project with Dylan Cotner to create a new and improved Universal Soldier version. They want these new versions to be controlled by computers or what they call Seth. Unfortunately, the government doesn't agree to the launch of this project and immediately orders its termination. Seth, who has a mind of its own, decides to take matters into its own hands. First, it kills Dylan and transfers himself into a human body. Following this, it goes out in search of Luke Devereaux, the only person who knows the code that can prevent the program's termination. Luke must try and hide from Seth until its program can be deleted. Unfortunately, Seth targets his daughter to gain leverage. Mick Rogers' shocking B-action movie is a classic cheese fest that can only be watched if not taken seriously. In fact, once viewers realize the movie's self-awareness, they'll immediately begin enjoying it. It's filled with fierce combat-heavy scenes that are presented in a brutal life-or-death manner. Moreover, it contains a great deal of unstoppable, noisy action that must be watched with your brain kept aside. Its thrilling screenplay showcases absurd excitement filled with violence. There are enough scenes of breathtaking struggles amidst a handful of crossfire and tension. Some viewers would say the only reason to watch this movie would be because of Jean-Claude Van Damme. However, others agree that the absurd, mindless actions of the cyborgs are also a reason. This film presents viewers with unexpected twists at times and has acquired a cult following over time. You should watch it for some smashing one-liners by Van Damme. Gunhed, 1989. Several years in the future, a supercomputer AI named Chiron 5 realizes that human beings are no longer needed in the world. As a result of this, it begins rebelling against them and sets out on a mission to abolish the human race. In an attempt to stop Chiron, a group of allies unleashes the Gunhed Battalion. After several years, in 2038, a scavenger crew known as the Marianne infiltrated a remote island facility to steal Chiron's dead CPU. Unfortunately, the entire island is death-trapped, and most of them are killed immediately. As the rest of the team approaches closer to Chiron 5, they encounter the traps within the facility. They also run into Sergeant Nim, who was on her own mission to retrieve a vial of Texmexium stolen to program Chiron 5. After a series of events and one of the Marianne turning into a cybernetic antagonist, it's now up to Brooklyn, one of the scavenger crew members, to stop Chiron 5 with Gunhead's help. Masato Harada's sci-fi action film was initially meant to be the basis for a new Godzilla movie, where Godzilla would battle against the giant supercomputer. However, Toho scrapped the movie and created Godzilla vs. Biollante instead. The most appealing aspect of this mecha film is its over-the-top visuals. Despite its obviously low budget, the creators made the most of the resources they had at their disposal to make it as realistic and intriguing as possible. It's filmed on an impressive set, and the characters appear in fantastic creative costumes. Shoji Kawamori made all of the designs for the mechanical elements in this film, his only work on a live-action movie. Its atmosphere and primary theme are significantly out of the ordinary and unlike anything viewers have seen before. Its cyberpunk vibe portrays great special effects, such as transforming suits during the combat sequences. Most people are unaware that Gunhed is part of the first live-action mecha films that paved the way for several adaptations, including a video game and an entire manga series. Robot Wars, 1993. North America is ravaged in the year 2041 by the Great Toxic Gas Scare of 1993. The world has become unlivable, with large chunks of land turning into an inhospitable desert. Here, bands of rebels called the Centros have become a menace to the survivors, attacking their transports. Within this chaos, a rogue pilot named Drake and an archaeologist, Leda, must work together despite their differences and stop the Centros from resurrecting a dangerous mega-robot and wreaking havoc on an already post-apocalyptic world. Just like Stuart Gordon's Robot Jox, Robot Wars also entered the big screen a few years later with the same amount of anticipation from the audience. Unfortunately, Charles Band was unable to maintain the thrill a second time around. Nevertheless, Full Moon Studio created a beloved low-budget B flick with two monstrous mechanical robots going at it against each other. At the same time, a gorgeous archaeologist enters the dragon's den to solve the mystery and expose the truth. Considering the movie's budget, Charles Band and Stuart Gordon maintain their reputation in the final battle climax. Combining puppetry and stop-motion animation, the film thrived in the special effects department, where viewers couldn't entirely ridicule them. In fact, its brisk pace and vastly imaginative storyline make viewers feel like they could do a lot worse where robot mecha B movies are concerned. Crash and Burn, 1990. After the world undergoes a major economic collapse, Unicom is a powerful organization that monitors its affairs. Everyone now lives in a world where computers and robots are banned, and their goal is to ensure life, liberty, and the pursuit of economic stability. However, things go sideways when a robot from Unicom infiltrates a TV station and murders its manager. This TV station, incidentally, happens to be a revolutionary body against the autocratic corporation. It's now up to a Unicom delivery man to rescue the rest of the survivors in the TV station and get them to safety within the incoming thermal storm. While Charles' band Crash and Burn is an intriguing rendition of robots taking over the world in the future, its sparse-looking robots can be attributed to Empire Productions' bankruptcy after the abundance of high-flying special effects in Robot Jox. Its action sequences are ideas that have been clearly borrowed from John Carpenter's The Thing and the monster android from The Terminator. Viewers who watch this must keep an open mind that this is a film meant to be watched with an open heart in mind. Otherwise, its cheesy special effects will surely appear nothing more than laughable. Many people mistake this film to be the sequel to Robot Jox due to it being released as Robot Jox 2 in several nations. Unfortunately, the epic robot-to-robot combat that the former showcases isn't found in Crash and Burn. Instead, it presents a subtle commentary on a political undertone of a totalitarian regime where one entity's word is final and anyone that disagrees will meet with their demise, accompanied by a massive robot, of course. Overall, Crash and Burn is a slow-burn, post-apocalyptic sci-fi thriller with a decent cast that also happens to be the beautiful Megan Ward's first movie.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
We will both be deleted.